You know how we fucking do this. Roll call.
Hiya.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody. After a bit
Why
of
did
a
I just
hiatus-
say we took that much time off and nobody managed to fuck up the intro?
Now we
We're
crushed it.
professionals.
Professionals.
Are you streaming right now, Tom? I don't see you.
I am currently streaming.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We fucking crushed it. I hope so. I made sure to start the stream, gave it a second, started the music, the whole shebang. I was not gonna get God on this one. Not today. Not today, Healers. Not today. So, welcome back, everybody. We had to take a 2-week hiatus because I was off exploring the southeast part of the United States, from New Orleans up to St. Louis. 'Twas fucking badass. But now we've returned. Well, now we can go to our fantasy world, and not the southeast. It's really more of like the northeast in the grand scheme of Faerun. But enough about that. Welcome back to episode 25 for Elemental Evils campaign, The Odd Jobs, and what is, for the time being, narrated as Bounding the Bog, Part 4. On our last adventures with the Odd Jobs, the Odd Jobs had found what can only be described as the crack in the earth, housing what they believed to be Adara Moonfist and the remnants of the Turning Key, aided by the members of the Cult of the Black Earth. The party charged into this strange kind of crack cave formation that had been clearly dug out and reinforced, although a bit haphazardly, by some mining posts. There they engaged with these strange mud monsters, very reminiscent to almost the xenomorphs from Aliens, having a sticky and at times dirty fight. It almost took a turn for the worst as a gray ooze made its way onto the combat. But between good pacing, having superior speed and mobility, a good catch of a hand axe that may have accidentally embedded itself inside of Freddy had it not been for the quick deflect missiles of Rornak, the party succeeded in their first foray into this sunken earth. They continued deeper into the bowels of the earth, finding a large room, almost completely dark, but luckily with a light cantrip and other such devices, noticed multiple exits leading from this large cavernous room. Listening to the sounds of mining and pickaxes and some rather good perception rolls from the party, they're able to pinpoint a tunnel leading deeper into the earth, avoiding the many sunken holes, pitfalls, and other bits of water from this area. The party came across a cavern of such, the most excavated and the most stable looking of these kind of different caverns. Inside they saw a number of individuals wearing stone gray masks, covering the majority of their facial features, led by a human woman who, upon seeing the party, specifically Rornak, immediately began the offensive. Darting behind some of these excavated mounds of earth, these monks engaged with the party. As the fight continued, it became more and more apparent that these monks shared the same martial artist skills as Rornak, even pulling off some of his own moves, such as catching one of Jove's javelins and returning it to sender, putting out a flurry of blows, and even having a step of the wind to cover some distance. The fight was brutal, with Rornak taking on the bulk of these and having some most excellent kung fu skills, crushing not one, not two, but I believe all three of these stone monks fell to Rornak at one point or another, each one revealing light grayish-green skin underneath. Features missing, almost reminiscent of the Nomus from My Hero Academia, but also sharing a haunting similarity to Rornak. Jove took on a strange earthen white-like creature whose body seemed to be filled with bits of earth, with rock crystal armor on the outside, who seemed to be filled and empowered by its connection to the earth. The fight got incredibly nasty as Adara Moonfist made her sneak attack on an unbeknownst Rornak, dropping him to the ground. Thus began a rather intense bout of Rornak being placed nearly to death. I believe Jasper went down at one point. A coup de grace was very much on the cusp of this fight, but with some fantastic rolls, not made by the DM, even though your favorite DM had back-to-back crits on Jasper, which is a beautiful sight to see. The party prevailed, striking down Adara Moonfist, the last of these sacred stone monks, as they're referred to in the text. However, as the combat came to a close and our party appeared victorious, something impossible happened. The top half of Adara's own skull opened up almost like a Russian nesting doll, and from the inside, actual brain slithered out on 4 pincer-like arms, revealing itself to be what we know as players as an Intellect Devourer. The Intellect Devourer quickly turned on Rornak in a hurried, frenzied state, trying to kill our party's favorite monk. With a burst of psychic energy, Rornak was reminded of a darker time, of memories long since forgotten, of a life before Rornak's time at the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, of deep torture, of darkness, of watching those that were close to him at one point in time fall while he persevered. And the sheer shock of reliving some of these memories stunned our young monk. But not before, I believe, who got the final blow on the Intellect Devourer?
That would be Jove.
Indeed, with the final blow from Jove, the brain on its 4 little appendages was laid low, with one final image of a tall, lanky, dark black tendrils, almost not quite an octopus, not quite vines either, this awful blend of earthen energies and alien constructs, forming a mouth with unbeknownst teeth underneath, bright green eyes, and this slightly tacky appearance of not quite reptilian and not quite chitin, but this just awful conglomeration of textures, staring back through your memories, Rornak. And with the final scream of its life, this Intellect Devourer tells you that Vanquo knows you're here. We return back to our party in the bowels of this cavern. Rornak, as this Intellect Devourer dies, your intellect is returned to you. However, the memories are still incredibly vivid, still incredibly painful. Not altogether, not a smooth transition, not one that could be placed together, but the images of Vanquo and of some of companions whose names are lost to you, who followed you into such a place, come back, at least for the moment. The rest of you can see Rornak's whole body. You can see long, deep red lines, almost looking fresh. You can see the back of kind of his skull almost throbs. It almost looks to the point as if it's about to burst. You can see his whole body just recoiling. And you can watch this trauma reappear upon his skin.
And then just to check, am I currently still unconscious at this point, or did someone get me up? I
believe you were stunned. You were not unconscious.
Okay.
So, as your stun comes to a close, as you are able to start to regain your faculties back. As you look at the now dead abomination of flesh and stone at your feet. Return back to the party. I'll remind you that this cavern, the map is right there. There's a large pit in the center of it, a number of mining tools strewn about, and a wagon with a number of different goods and crates and other interesting baubles on it. As we return back to the Lost Inn, or as we return back to the Odd Jobs.
I think instinctually, Aquila is going to break kind of the north part of this cavern and just be checking, making sure that there's nothing still a threat, and maybe even peeking over and looking into the pit.
Go ahead and have Aquila roll perception.
That is a 19.
At 19, looking around, Aquila does not see nor smell anyone besides the fallen foes and, of course, the party itself. Looking down into the pit, she sees that it's about 20 feet down, and there is a dull green something down there. It's quite a ways down, and Aquila is not quite sure what it is. She does see, indeed, a ladder leading down this kind of 20 feet, all the way to the bottom. But the light green glow is unmistakable.
Well, we all...
Go ahead.
You go. I was just going to start talking, so...
No, you're fine. Jasper rushes to Rory and to just kind of make sure he's alright. Kind of her worry playing on her face, because I think the nat 20s to the face shattered that delicate clay mask she was wearing before, so just barefaced kind of looks at you with just a look of like, are you alright? What's going on?
Rordak, I think at this point is still kind of just coming out of a daze with eyes just wide, twitching a bit, and as he's still kind of coming to, he just kind of sees a figure above him and is just asking, where are we? Where am I?
We're still on the ground, bud. You got attacked by some weird brain thing. Here, let me sit you up. And she kind of lifts him and sits him up against that rock that we were near. It looks like it did something to you. How do you feel? What's going on in your head right now?
Everything in my head right now, it's like just some sort of door just opened, and I'm just seeing everything at once right now. Thanks for saving my ass too.
Right
I
back
think
at
you
you,
did.
bud.
I was kind of
I
and
did,
down.
but then you paid me right back. You kicked a hole through that bitch's chest. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, a lot of that feels like a blur. I feel like some of it was just instinct kind of kicking in at a point, but just glad we're out of it.
No.
When I was going in and out, did anyone say any names? Did anyone mention Bonko or something?
I didn't hear that name. Did you guys?
I didn't hear any names, but there was a weird kind of scream, I think. That little brain thing when I skewered it nice. Felt kind of like when our flump friend down in the sewers had that connection to the brain. Wasn't screaming through any lungs like a normal folk, but there was pain. But sorry, no names, Rornak.
Well,
You don't speak brain, do you?
I don't speak brain, but I can tell you that's a damn good thing that you guys got rid of that as fast as you did.
What? Do you
I don't-
know what that was?
I know what it's related to, at least.
Well, it
Yeah.
dropped you like a sack of potatoes, so must have been something mighty strong.
Do you... None of you happen to know what a mind flayer is, do you?
Uh, should we roll history on that?
This would be an Arcana roll for anybody who would like to.
See if Gaffer had any tails.
Definitely nope.
14.
18.
An 18.
Yeah.
14. For you, Jove, you've heard tales of creatures that lie in the deep. There's a couple halfling rhymes about what happens if you go play in caves, But for the most part, it's just children's stories. Your grandpa Gaffer, of his many tall tales, had never ran into a creature such as that. Jasper, you have, with your kind of, education, your upbringing as a noble lady of Mulmaster, you have a academic knowledge of mind flayers. You know that they, you have kind of a vague idea what they look like. You know that they eat brains, but there's not a lot of history of mind flayers in Mulmaster. Something that's popped up, it's usually a Underdark, and in your experience, it's a drow problem. At least from your culture upbringing. So
Yeah,
you
with
are
those-
you are aware that they are brain eaters. You aware that they're nasty, but typically stuff reserved for lesser folks.
I feel like I recall Lol saying something about that when we were talking to her about the Underdark or whatever. You think they have an interest in Mulmaster?
If they do, that's about as bad as news as you can get. Mind flayers. You probably all don't know much about me or the gift, but mind flayers have a history with us. My race has been known to be enslaved to them for many years, and well, to a mind flayer, anybody's brain is fair game. Anything that's related to them and what they want, it's not good for anybody or anything.
And Rornak, you're one of a kind. I haven't seen somebody fight like you before. Until today, I couldn't help but notice that those stony folk. I mean, they fought just like you. It was weird. It was like watching you fight your shadow. Do you think these are your kin or something like that? Like obviously corrupted, but
I don't know. The similarities there. If it is them, it's a sad butchering of them, of what they've become, but I can't deny that they're certainly trading the same. And Rornak would actually like to go and kind of start inspecting them and just like what is on them and like looking over them and their features more, just to double check on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Rornak, for you. This is less looking over. Roll me insight. Looking over their bodies, it's easy to see that they don't have much possessions on them. These kind of dark gray-green robes, the broken bits of stone mask left on them. One of them appears to have like a scimitar, but it's clearly, secondhand, stolen from some unfortunate passerby.
Yeah, and unfortunately, still feeling it on Rornak's side. That was only a 6 for insight.
A 6. They share similarities. that much is abundant, but looking deeper at them, so much of them seems to have been removed. So much of their facial features, so much of what even looks like to be large chunks of their brain matter, what should be there is not. It's almost like these masks are covering mostly empty space. The bodies appear to be in rather peak performance, but everything above the neck seems to have been heavily tampered with, making it kind of impossible to see what they might have looked like beforehand. However, their hands, their skin, their postures, eerily similar to yours.
These actual people, right, Rory?
I fear at some point they were. They definitely look. They look like gift to me, but everything from the neck up seems twisted, erased, or corrupted. Typically, being a twice martyr is something safe for truly the most blessed, but not like this. This feels defiled to me.
To be the getting the business type, but if mind flayers are in action here, are we thinking that we should maybe do a fire and burn these bodies so nothing can inhabit them further?
I think so.
Not a half bad idea. But this Adara Moonfist lady, she's quite the legend, right? I mean, is anybody gonna believe us if we don't return with some proof?
I
I mean,
not to be too grim, but we could still take a trophy and burn the rest of her body.
I was kind of thinking the same, unfortunately. Well, let's take a look at her hands and see if she's got them tattoos.
Jove, roll me investigation.
Can I help?
Yes, you can.
Nice crit fail. So that is going to be a 17.
All right. Without your halfling luck, you would have worse luck than Mikey.
Yeah, I think you've actually rolled more ones than me.
Like, I think you are the king of ones right now.
Wow.
Yup.
Wow, the loneliest number that you've ever been. So, looking over Adara, you could see that the top portion... I can't make that reference because not everybody's caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen. So I won't make that reference, but you can see clearly where the top half of the skull has been removed or pushed open from it. The inside cavernous and empty now that the Intellect Devourer has vacated it. On Adara's body, you do find 2 moonstone bracelets, each having on the kind of the underside Moonfist engraved into it. She wears studded leather armor, a ring that is gold and light blue. It is remarkable in make. You see that she's carrying about 50 gold pieces on her on a small kind of pouch to the side, and on said hands, as you look at this kind of ring at these bracelets, you do see a tattoo of kind of that keyhole, along with the full key on it.
Well, maybe we can take these bracelets, and we still got that other lady tied up back at the other camp, and she's got the same tattoo, so that could help corroborate. So maybe we don't have to chop off this lady's hands, just in case there is some taint. We don't have to take that with you, to your point about burning them, Freddy.
Oh, I didn't think about any taints.
You never do, Freddy. You always forget the taint.
I was gonna say if we want to take the head, I can do my little shuji magic to make her, not decompose in our bag, which would be nice. But if we're
half a head left.
We'd have to scoop her.
There's the other side.
It's got the important identification parts.
Okay. fair enough.
Just put it back on together. Like I said, like a rushing nesting doll. You have both halves of her dome.
Fair.
But yeah, I think worrying about the taint is a valid point. Can anybody here do sketches just so we can get as much evidence as possible and like draw her tattoos?
Well, I've actually been doing a little practicing myself. Still quite a bit of a beginner, but I'll take a crack at it. So
Speaking of which, does this look at all similar to the symbol that we saw in the cave of Imix?
Ah,
Little
the one that
dungeon that
was
we went
in the
into.
brazier.
the
really
swirly
weird.
one?
The really weird symbol that
The
made us feel
Brennan
weird.
brazier.
Britain.
The Brendan Brazier.
The Brendan
Wow.
brazier. Looking around this, it does not appear, nor does it give you that overwhelming sense of dread and madness. Just kind of looking at her and the surrounding areas, it does not have that. You think, at least for now, with a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I'll take a crack at sketching this. And Freddie, Aquila scouted out over in that pit, and there's something giving off a light green glow. Looks like there's a ladder down there. Maybe it might be worth using your magic eyes on and see if there's something down there. Obviously, I don't think it's too far to say that this probably wasn't Adara's plan to get her brain blown out by whatever that little thing was. So
Usually not part of anybody's plan. But,
precisely.
Yeah.
And who knows? There was that seed of fell earth that we found back in Fort Iron, and maybe this is another one of those. Who knows?
No, we can start a collection. How about somebody keep looking after Rory? One of you guys go check out that card over there, see if there's anything useful in there, and I'll
Yeah.
check out the pit with Aquila.
Jasper will check out the cart.
Okay. We'll start with the cart. Looking through the cart, you see that it is filled with a number of different what appears to be chests and crates, all of them seeming a little bit different, each filled with some seems to be filled with food, others with mining equipment, but the vast majority of it seems to be filled with gold and the like. You find... Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, Jasper.
I just remembered I have disadvantage because I'm still exhausted. Fuck. 5.
5. You find between there a number of gold coins and like equaling 80 gold pieces.
Okay.
A number of pickaxes and other mining gear, raw materials, what looks to be probably used to build the supports for different parts of this unorthodox mine. It seems to be the bulk of it. Seems to be more goods pilfered from different caravans.
Yeah, she's too tired to give a shit about looking further for now. But, she'll have someone else look it over in a bit.
Freddy, you head to the pit. There is a ladder that leads about 20 feet down. Do you proceed?
Can I see the bottom?
You could definitely see the faint kind of green glow of it.
Okay, I'm gonna check to make sure it's a real bottom. I'm gonna pick up a rock, cast light on it, and drop it down.
Dink, dink, dink. Falls about 20 feet or so before landing on whatever this green thing is down there. You can see your light mixing in with kind of the light green light emanating from it. You can see it seems to be, with the light on it now, a rather large emerald, at least. You can see tons of it are still appear to be buried underneath this rock. They've been moving it out. That to actually get down there, you have to stand on this thing. That's how large it is. It's actually the floor down there. They've only just uncovered the top of it, or at least part of the top of it.
Okay, I'll take the 10 minutes and put my magic goggles on.
As that 10 minutes pass, you get the, usual number of pings, like Jasper's battle axe, Rory's box, Jove, Aquila, as such. Your own bits of magic. However, the ring from Adara's hand pings with, oh gosh, what school of magic is that? It is... Oh, that's not what I asked for at all. Transmutation. And another, even larger ping of transmutation comes from this kind of green stone 20 feet down. And it's almost kind of like ping, 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 ping. And then as you focus on it, it's like opening an oven. And you get that blast of heat when you do. It almost moves your hair back. That's how much transmutation is coming off of this. Just...
Was the seed, the earth seed that we found, was that transmutation?
It was indeed.
Okay. And this feels like a similar...
This feels similar, less pulsating. This feels... it's like the seed of fell earth pulsed, and there's that madness that accompanies this. This is like constant. However, it's less blowing past you. It's more like it's focusing back down. It feels less of just like coming off in waves, like the seed of fell earth did. This almost seems like it's holding something down.
Holding something down. Okay. I just don't want to take any chances. I don't know if Johnny died. Did Johnny die?
Johnny did
I feel
burst
like he
into
did die at
flames.
some point. Yeah. I'm gonna take the 10 minutes to summon another Johnny.
Absolutely. Job, if you'd like, you may go assist Jasper with that investigation on the cart.
Yeah.
While this is happening.
Sure. Did I
taking
sketch
20
out the tattoo?
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. First off, go ahead and roll me roll me a sleight of hand.
That's 14.
14. You get it's a surprisingly good photo or drawing of the hand. You get the tattoos right. Some of the fingers are a little uneven in places, but overall, definitely better than that Lily photo you sent to Gaffer.
But after I finish that up, and if Rornak looks like he's breathing okay, he would go and help Jasper look through those carts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rornak,
I think when you start heading over, she's like literally got like her head is just like down, just like she's just got her head like resting on the cart, just totally exhausted.
Need a hand there, Jasper? Always happy to help.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Ooh, that is the other side of the coin. That is a halfling crit fail for a investigation. That's a 6.
a 6. Yeah,
One better than you.
looking through it, I mean, it's just mostly mining gear in there. You see the same, you see the same amount of gold coins. It's very easy to see that Jasper found as well. But looking through it, it just appears to mostly be mining gear, some food, rations, just typical things that you would find if you were to be mining in the middle of nowhere.
Makes sense. He's then gonna yell out to Freddy and say, "Hey there, Freddy. If you want me to hook up a line down into that pit just in case you don't trust that ladder, let me know. Quick work."
Yeah, it's gonna be a good idea. I want to take things pretty safe here because we're not in familiar territory and we're diving down into a magic oven.
Well, I'll get on it. And he'll go up there to the pit and start erecting, or I should say, just like driving into the ground, a nice little, a rigging, so he can go down the ladder.
There's a joke in there. I'm not going to take the energy to get to it. With your experience, Jove, you're able to get that rigged up, while Freddy, you are focusing on channeling your magic and getting another Johnny. You both kind of finish around the same time. Foom, Johnny and Jove, you finish up setting up the rigging. Jasper, after looking through the carts, collecting that gold, seeing some rations, some food, some water, more mining equipment, you sit up next to Freddy, and the both of you are just, or not Freddy, Rornak, and the both of you are just there, equally both exhausted.
Yeah, I think she brings him some of the food, and we just sit down and fucking lunch break this one while the other two do shit.
Appreciate that. And
Yeah.
Rornak will even grab an even more stale piece of bread as you're doing that, and he'll hold that out to offer.
She'll take it. Hmm? Thanks.
Rornak is low-key actually very, very happy and feels complimented. Just like, wow, someone actually shared the bread.
So as Rory and Jasper lick their wounds and share some bread, Freddy, how do you want to fuck this pig?
So I'm gonna say, okay, Johnny, I know, like, if my studies are correct, you're just like a weird ethereal copy of a rat, so you don't like remember any pain that you ever go through. And it would be really cool to watch you like dive down there, but I'm pretty sure you would poof out of existence from falling that far. So unfortunately, we have to do things the not so cool way and kind of like repel you down. And I'm gonna go over to Jove's rope. I'm gonna have him grab onto the end of the rope and lower him down.
Johnny goes over to the rope, slicks back his hair, gives you almost like a little John Bond salute, hops onto the rope, ready to go.
And then while Jove is lowering him down, I'm going to go into his vision.
All right, as Johnny is lowered down, you see that it appears to be the hole itself is kind of like it's like 20 by 10. Whatever this thing is, this is clearly just one piece of it. It can continues deeper into the earth, and as soon as Johnny, his kind of little rat feet, hands, paws, claws, whatever rats have at the end of their limbs, touches down, you can feel just the solidness of this. This is not some hollow thing. This is heavy and huge. And Jamba can feel little bits of almost kind of his form kind of twist and pull. Not quite morphing, but just slightly transitioning as he kind of moves across it. And you can see through his eyes a number of markings that you, at this point, it's not that you can read it, but you recognize it, and it appears to be more primordial, etched in on the top of this. For Johnny, each one of these seems to be the better part the length of his body, but you can see through his eyes. It appears that there's something written on the top of this.
Well, you know what we do to primordial?
And do some comprehend languages.
We cast we take our staff out and cast comprehend languages?
Looking through, you begin to read, and as you do, the rest of you see Freddy's mouth move, but the voice that comes through is not his. And Freddy, you speak in Terran. The stone is the prison of Tavar, the Mad One. Treacherous yet resolute. Here the Mad One stays to seek penance from the Prophet, and to await his release when the great elemental battle commences. For even the insane have a place in war.
So that's pretty ominous.
Before all you feel like this just draining from you.
I don't know if he would be on the good side of the war. I'm guessing since he's the mad one that he would not be on a great side.
And as you finish this, you can see through Johnny's eyes what appears to be a divot at kind of the top of this inscription. And could I have you roll an insight with advantage on this one, Freddy?
Well, that will cancel out with my disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, 13.
13.
What?
It is the exact kind of imprint of a seed of fell earth.
Oh. All right. So there is a hole down there that is the size and shape of the seed of earth that we have. Now Monkey Brain says put the stone in there. It fits. It'd be so nice if we just put it in there, but the other part of my brain says, since I just said that this is a prison cell for one named the Mad One, maybe that's the key to his prison cell, and we should just keep the two as separate as possible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I gave the Seed of Fell Earth over to Yavendel, the Emerald Enclave, so they've got it in good hands. So at least we know the key's far and away from the lock.
For now. Maybe when we get back to town, you should do your little tree thing again and talk to her about making sure that it stays far away from this location specifically.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a conversation with her, make sure that she knows that whatever. I mean, I'm seeing connections all over the place. Maybe these folks were involved with, getting that Seed of Fell Earth over in Fort Iron. I mean, it seems kind of, I don't know, serendipitous that we stumble upon a key and a lock within a few 10 days of one another. Sounds like something big is planned.
It's just destiny. Also, again, I'm just kind of being the pessimist here, but if shit does go south and these elemental bad guys do end up getting summoned by these cults, maybe this is an option to get somebody on our side. Maybe it's like a genie situation. Like once we free him from this prison, he'll be willing to help us out.
I don't know. The last time that we quote unquote freed anything from a prison, I almost drowned in my own, I don't know, gack that was in my lungs, and a new friend of ours is forever attached to some sort of creepy rod. So I don't know, ancient powers like that, especially somebody who goes around styling themselves as the Mad One, I don't know, doesn't seem like a good ally.
That's why I said when the things get summoned and start attacking, this is not to be used in a frivolous time, but if it's our last option, it is an option.
It's an ace in the hole for sure. And speaking of holes, I don't know, maybe we should take a little bit of time and throw some dirt over here. Obviously, we can't dig this thing up, but I don't think we got to worry about the lizard folk coming in here fucking with anything, but I don't know. I'm also pretty tired. Not as tired as you lot look, but I feel like we're at least a little bit on the weaker side right now.
I can get one of my floating discs out and help move dirt that way. It looks like on the map there's one of them that's like, one of the mounds is like 30 feet away.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of mounds of earth here, stuff being excavated. I mean, while this is definitely the most stable looking of these caverns, you know that the structural integrity of this cave is not very good.
Yeah, so I guess we should fill it in.
Well, maybe we let the others, rest for a short while and dig us out a couple of shovels. I don't know about you, but I'm still feeling. I took a couple of licks, that for sure, in that last one, but I don't know. I'm between you and me, a little worried about Warnock right now.
Yeah. All right, let's rest up and figure out what we're doing.
After that,
So, I will say, it is. You guys woke up this morning. It took you the better part of half a day to get to the bandit camp, take care of them, and then, about another half of the day to get this. So, evening is quickly approaching. Aquila hasn't sensed any other individuals. It would not be a terrible time to take a long rest. You may
Yeah, if
traverse
we're gonna-
back, however, you will be going through the flooded forest in evening.
yeah.
Yeah,
As-
that's true.
As Jove and Freddy approach back to the group, he'll bring that up and say, "I don't know about you folks, but it was a hard trek through the flooded forest, even for me, and I fancy myself pretty good at this. Y'all feeling like maybe we sleep here for the night? I wouldn't mind taking first shift, making sure we don't get shanghaied or anything, but I don't know. I just think it's gonna be a long walk back through the muck if we try and go through the night."
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't relish camping underground, but there's only one entrance into this room as far as we can tell, and that's a hell of a lot better than sleeping out in that swamp, so I'm inclined to agree with you. Also, there's a bunch of food here that we're probably not going to take with us, so might as well take advantage of that as well.
I agree. Given the circumstances, this is probably our best bet. Guess we'll just have to hope that there's anybody else who wants to come check this place out right now.
I guess we gotta hope that our prisoners out in the way make it through the night. They're in a safe spot, though.
Yeah, they'll be hungry, but they should be protected from the wasps at least. Maybe not the rain. But that's fine.
Well, I'll get a small fire going. I think there's a breeze through here, so we should be fine not smoking ourselves out. And yeah, rest up, and we'll switch shifts here in a bit.
Sounds good.
And I guess
Yes.
Jove would know better than Kyle if a fire would be advisable in here.
In here, you should be all right. Definitely not the. You think back on your time in the sewers of Molemaster, and if Zanzan and those guys could have a fire deep in the bowels of that sewer, you should be able to have a fire in here.
Is that right?
So, Joe,
We'll get to it.
you set up a fire. You guys begin eating a number of different food left behind on this cart. There's food enough for plenty. Even find some fresh water, what appears to be a bottle of wine as well. Just a whole manner of different stuff, from salted meats to what appears to be some fresh produce, although some of it does look like it's been there for a little bit. But overall, you guys easily set up camp in here. Joe, if you're taking first watch.
Yes, and before he goes to his post, he's going to turn to Freddy and say, Hey, I know sometimes jewelry can, have that magic thing to it. So you want to check out these bracelets and maybe this ring that I took off Adara while I post up. Feel free to do so, and I'll hand them over to Freddy.
Yeah, I'll do that. Then I will do that on my watch. Have we figured out who's sleeping first?
I would love to fucking sleep right now.
I would too, because not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pretty useless if anything does spring up unless I get some shut eye ASAP.
Well, I'm taking first watch, so somebody get a little bit of rest in, and then come and relieve me when necessary.
I'll take second.
I'll
Rornak,
take
I think,
third.
yeah, I think Rornak deserves a full night of sleep there. I think he got the biggest wallop out of all of us. So thanks for stepping up, Freddy.
I appreciate you letting me get some rest, and also making sure I got up many, many times this last day.
So, as Jove, you take that first watch. Go ahead and give me a perception check while your party has a much-deserved rest.
That's going to be 17.
17. You listen through. You can hear some sounds of dripping water from the cavern beforehand, but your watch goes uneventfully. After some time, you wake up, I believe. Was it Jasper taking second watch?
Yeah.
And go over and wake up Jasper and switch out between the two of you.
Yeah, she lets out a groan of exhaustion, but we'll go and keep watching.
Absolutely. Jasper, go ahead and give me a perception check.
9.
9. You take your watch. The sound of the dripping water coming in sounds like it might be raining lightly deeper throughout the cave, and it's very gentle. And you find yourself drift off to sleep and wake up and in a bit of a panic and look around, and you see the rest of your party still sleeping soundly.
Gonna play it cool and wake Freddy up for his and pretends like she knows how long that was.
Freddy, your sister goes over to you and wakes you up. A little earlier than you were anticipating, but
Yeah. I'll take my watch, and on my watch I'll do my inspection.
yeah, you go ahead and take a perception check.
Yeah. That's a crit fail. My passive is 11.
Yeah, you watch for a little bit, and then you look at that ring, and the curiosity just gets the fucking best of you. And you start focusing on the ring, and after you use your magic to identify, it is a ring of water walking. While wearing this ring, you can stand on and move across any liquid surface as if it were solid.
Ooh.
Just to get it out of the way, do we want to divvy that out now? Just so we don't forget about it later.
It does not
I
require
probably
attunement.
will like that as Jasper, since I wear armor and water is always a fucking hassle.
That's what I was thinking.
But Jove would be a reasonable choice as well, so I don't know.
Joe feels comfy with having Aquila as like a swim buddy to help him
Okay.
in a time of need. So
Cool, I appreciate that.
Freddy,
I will take it then.
during this, while you're doing your identify, you also remember that you have that mage's spellbook on you.
I do remember that. I don't remember which mage though.
The mage, the bandit camp's mage, the other member of the Turning Key.
Yes. Okay, that's right.
During this, since with that crit fail, so you go into full scholar mode, especially because no one's watching. And in it, this spell book, I can just do it this way. Come on. It's much easier if you just give it to me like this. There it is. You find that in the spellbook, it has Charm Person, Earth Tremor, Magic Missile, Shocking Grasp, Earthbind, Hold Person, Invisibility, Snowball Swarm, and Silence.
Do you know if any of those are able to be cast as rituals? Because those are the only ones that I'm able to copy.
As rituals, I don't believe any of those can be cast as rituals.
Okay. Then I will put it in the pile to be burned.
Can do.
Or do I bring it back? I'll bring it back to the cloaks. Get some brownie points.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, what does that ring of water walking look like?
The ring of water walking is a silver band, and through it appears to be small kind of blue gems in the shape of waves.
Oh.
It does not require attunement. Let's go ahead and jot that one down. Ooh, actually, Freddy, there is one that is a ritual. Silence.
What's that? I will add that. What are my resources that I have to spend for that?
It's a second level spell.
Okay, so that is 4 hours and 100 gold.
You've got the 4 hours. Do you have the 100 gold?
I do. Yeah.
We'll say you don't spend your watching out. You see that and
An opportunity.
And an opportunity, really. So as the rest of the party wakes up, let's say with just how watches go, Freddy, you're on like your final hour finishing this up as the rest of the party begins to wake up, and you just see Freddy, like Deku, is just copying down, and you see little bits, and Johnny's running over and handing like items to him and helping out, and he's like fully spread out just like over this cave floor, like with the fire still slightly burning. Now it's just embers since it's gone out, and just going through it, casting lights here, and in full, the most studious you've ever seen Freddy.
Fucking nerd.
As this is happening, however, we will pan over to Rornak. Rornak, sleep comes to you immediately. No sooner do you finish eating and thanking your party for the rest that sleep overtakes you. And it's as if your mind finally has the time to process. In it, you see yourself. And while their faces are blurred, it's almost as if your dreams won't allow you to see their faces anymore. You see a number of what you can tell are other Gith. Your hands bound above you, your legs sprayed out, almost like an X. A dark, one part stone, one part almost feels like hard shell. Almost tubes holding every single one of you. As you see the mind flayer that you now know as Von Quo enter. Goes to each of your brethren. In some, he implants what appears to be a small organism. In others, injecting foul liquids into them. You can hear the struggle and the screeching of your brethren. And then to you. The pain seeps through as you see he unzips part of your flesh. You can see him open up. Look at the muscular skeleton. You have to sit as an autopsy is performed on you while still conscious. And you cry out. Nothing ever comes back. And this scene repeats day in and day out as Von Quo catalogs your whole body. As you watch your brethren and your sisters fall, either succumbing to the torture, being transformed into monstrosities, you alone are left. And as Von Quo finishes his cataloging of your flesh, you see a spindly-legged creature, its shape in the form of a brain, be pulled out of this strange gooey vat. And Von Quo locks eyes with you, those bright green eyes. As he lifts that above, and you can feel these hard, blackened, stony, almost tentacles fall across your form, leaving finally your mind for last. You can feel the breaking of your skull, the opening of your one last holdout. And in that moment, as these memories come to an end, as you can feel sleep about to end for you, you call out, and the only word that leaves your lips is El Mater. As you awaken from this, in a bit of a start, and you can see that the scars once again, now with more context, begin to fade once more. The rest of you, as you admire, or perhaps chide Freddy for the moment of his studious nature.
Something about that. So silence is not a wizard spell, and that is another part of the feat that it requires. Is it has to be a wizard ritual spell. So I do not copy that down.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, because I'm the DM, that you can.
Okay. I don't know how to do that in D&D Beyond, but I will try and figure it out.
That's fine. It is, I think technically silence is a bard spell.
It's Bard, Ranger, and something else, but...
So I would say, I want to give it to you because it feels narratively correct. So if you want to make a note of that, if you really don't want to take it, you don't have to, but you spent the time, the hours, and I like the narrative choice of it, so I'm going to say as the DM that is a-okay. You already took a feat for it. I'm going to give it to you. So, as the rest of you see Freddy do that, you also do see Rornak awake with a start, and you can also see those strange scarring through his body, bright red, and now beginning to fade once more.
Jasper will give him the courtesy of some space. She's gonna put on her mask and go over to Jove. You wanna help me give that cart one last look over now that I don't feel like that?
Yeah, it couldn't hurt. You will go over there.
I'll assist him if you'll allow us one last investigation.
Go for it.
Uh, 13.
13. You take one last look at this cart. and see more of the same. More mining tools. You've gotten into the food, found the bit of loose gold that is around. However, on this kind of final look through, you do find a number of gold rings and other jewelry. And after looking at it, your first thought is, it's pretty gaudy, to be honest. Who would wear this? And clicks in. And you'll found Anghara's jewelry.
Yeah, I had a feeling this would still be here.
These bastards.
Gotta tell you, my first instinct is to sell it, but I feel like that might be like a mole master part of me. I don't know if you have a different instinct there.
Well, maybe we bring it back to Captain Hulk and let him know just exactly what this mission cost.
I think he cares.
No, but I do.
Fair enough. I'll leave it to you to carry that then.
You find 10 rings and 3 necklaces.
Job will put those in his sack.
And you can just mark all those as Anghara's jewelry.
Job is gonna.
Go for
Sorry,
it.
go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was just gonna look around to everybody and say, well, folks, remember before we get this thing started today, we're gonna want to apply the this yellow stuff again, so we can ward off them giant wasps. Jove will start to kind of bring it in, put that in his hands, and kind of apply it to the back of his neck and into his arms.
It has that very citronella-like smell to it.
Jasper's memory was just jogged, and while he's doing that, she's gonna pull out those herbs that she found in the kind of stowed Xanatrim kind of box, and kind of show it to Jove and be like, any chance you know what this is?
Let me take a look.
Go ahead and roll me. This would be your choice of nature, survival, or for you, insight.
I'm gonna do insight. Nice. That's 19.
19. That's silk root, also known as Knight's Veil, also known as Styx root. It's a stimulant. It can improve the reflexes and causes euphoria when consumed. It can either be put in like a lip, like a thing of dip, or it can be brewed into a tea. It is rather addictive, highly illegal in most places. However, the euphoria is quite strong, and it can allow those to withstand much more gruesome things. So with that good 19, a dose of silk root will give you 1d4 temporary hit points for 1 hour. That comes back every single round. And it gives you advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Yeah, I was working a caravan once, and there were some folks that like to put this stuff. I think they said it was silk root into their lip. They'd like to do it right before battle if things got hairy out there. I don't know, said it got them all hyped up, and they would definitely take some major looks at there. Though I got to say, they would use it even when we weren't, having to draw swords and all that. So everything that I hear, it's it's a habit developing at the very least. So, you might need to use it in a pinch if that's the type of thing you're into. But looks like some sort of, I don't know, little secret weapon of whoever we pulled it off of. Who you got this off of the camp, right?
Yeah, I think it was just it was part of the belongings of those thugs. It's nothing. It seemed valuable, so I took it. She stuffs it back in her pocket a little uncomfortably.
I mean that tracks to me. I don't think it's uncommon for bandits to want to get themselves a little hyped up before they go and do a night spree of murdering or anything like that. So yeah, just be careful with that. Don't let it seep into your bloodstream unless you really want to feel its effects.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. Thanks for the insight.
Happy to oblige. Well, we ready to trek out of here and go collect our prisoners, I suppose?
Yeah, I think we've left them waiting long enough.
Rornak, you good to travel?
Rornak is a little bit despondent and is just kind of looking over his Ilmater chest that you've seen him carry around. I'm sorry. What?
I was just making sure you were all right, friend. We got a long day of walking ahead of us, and we're gonna be having to do it with some unpleasant company here soon. So, uh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Just bad dreams. Just trying to make sense of things right now. We shouldn't hold up too long.
All in due time, my friend. I'm sure things will be made clear. For the time being, get yourself limber, because we got ourselves a long walk.
You're right. Let's be off then. And Rornak will grab the augury box, and we'll just continue to hold on to it. He won't put it in the bag. He's like going to hold it close to him the whole time.
Indeed. So you all gather your things, prepare yourself for the morning. The pit still has that kind of light green glow. It never seems to stop glowing. But you gather up all of your things and you are prepared to make your journey back through the flooded forest. Is there any final things you'd like to do before you leave?
Jove is just gonna try and have a bearing so he can. I don't know. Jove would know better than me when it comes to navigation and that kind of stuff. He just wants to be able to traverse back here at another point if he needed to. So I don't know what all that entails as far as bringing out a map and marking that out, but he definitely wants to do that.
You definitely could use some cartographer tools if you had cartographer tools or were proficient in cartographer tools. That would be the easy one. You know that this deep in the flooded forest is going to be very difficult to backtrack here. You're deep in the flooded forest, you're not in a park that's familiar. This is not a marked location, and you're not a map maker by trade. It's going to be rather difficult. In fact, you think on it, and it's really just the help of Sazak's and the lizard folks that made it so easy to find this place. You do not have high hopes on being able to return easily.
Fair enough.
You may roll me a survival check.
Survival is going to be shitty. That's 4.
Jove, you know that it is likely, unless somebody knows where this is, that you will not be able to return here. You know a general direction, but it's going to be very difficult.
I'm just going to be up front with you folks. I got good news and bad news. good news, I don't think anybody else is going to find this place. Bad news, that includes me. I think we would need directions again from the lizard folk to get back here. So I don't know if there's anything you want to do while you're still here, Freddy. I don't know if there's some magical shit that you need done here, but I have a feeling this is gonna fade into the mists of memory once we start trekking our way back through here. So just keep that top of mind.
Yeah, just for good measure, if no one else has anything they want to do, Jasper pulls out her obsidian axe and walks up to the outermost posts holding up the structure of the cave. Y'all might want to stand back a bit. She's gonna just give him a couple chops and see if she can't cave in the entrance.
It takes a couple chops to get through, but a couple minutes goes by as you watch Jasper hack away at some of the front structures. As you're leaving, taking a couple chunks out of each one as you go through, and as you all make your exit out through there, you can feel the rumbling, the instability. And Jasper, as you finally cut down the last of the I forget what they're called for tunnels, but these support beams, and then towards the entrance, you hear
Yeah, she's gonna get the fuck out of there.
as you all kind of scramble and get up through that lip out of this kind of sunken crack. You can see that behind this almost like a hill becoming inverted as it just all drops down, and there's a shaking as you feel the kind of earth shift and settle. I'm looking back on it. There is a number of rubble here, but you can already see part of the bog is starting to take back this part of the earth. You can see those violet kind of reeds being pulled towards this now sunken area of earth as this crack closes up. After a large kind of rumbling, the sounds of creatures scurrying about from this sense of movement, it is relatively quiet back in the flooded forest once again. The entrance to this strange tomb or prison of Tavar is now closed.
That just felt like the best thing to do. That place had some nasty vibes.
I'm with you there, Jasper.
I agree. Nothing good came of it.
It is
Alright,
early morning. The sun just barely peeking through. Much of the flooded forest still cast heavily in shadow, but the day is yours to begin your trek back.
I don't really gotta worry about ambushes anymore. Just animals, so we'll stay close this time.
Absolutely. Who would like to lead the expedition back towards the bandits' camp?
Jove!
Jove. Roll me a survival check.
That is a 13.
A 13. Jove, would you roll me a D100?
Oh.
Okay.
You insist.
I do.
Will.
I do indeed insist.
That is 33.
33, huh? Okie dokie. 33. Interesting. Terrible way to do this. Ah, wondrous. So, you head into the flooded forest, this part being incredibly boggy. there are very few pathways that lead on dry land. The most striking kind of feature of this area is these strange violet-colored reeds that litter every single part of this bog. Jove, you start off, it's much easier towards where this former cave was to keep on dry land, but you soon find yourself stuck as you look and you can see that there appears to be about 100 feet or so of just bog filled with a number of these violet-colored reeds sticking out of the water, with the only path forward being a straight line through this bog-covered water.
Well, folks, we're about to get a little bit wet. I think this is the only way forward. Luckily for you all, you're taller than I, so hopefully it won't be as bad, but let's do a little bit of swimming. I would avoid whatever those reeds are. Not quite sure what they are, but
Espa, if you give him the ring of water walking, then he can walk on top of the water and not have to worry about drowning in swamp.
A little annoyed because she was so ready to walk across it herself. She concedes
And then
that.
I give you that little sibling look like are you gonna be a bitch or are you gonna do it? Which one are you gonna do?
She rips it off her finger and hands it over to Joe.
well, that's mighty kind of you.
Yeah, don't fucking bitch.
Dang.
So,
And, Jove will plop that on and start the walking.
Jove, you lead forward, and it's a non-sensation walking on water because it's the first time you've ever walked on water. It's
Weird.
solid, but as your party members enter the water, the rest of you, this water comes up to about your waist. So it is difficult terrain. You can feel the ripples underneath your feet as it moves forward, and it doesn't make it any less solid. It's just it's almost like walking on a carpet that moves, that lifts. It's not so much of a balance thing, it's just more of a feeling comfortable. You lead your party, the rest of you guys moving at, I believe, 20 feet, 15 feet, and then Jove, you leading the way at 25 feet. So for the first time in our party, Jove is the fastest of you all.
Wow.
Had to flip the switch on him. Flip.
As you walk through Jove, you get about halfway through the rest of the party at 40 feet and 30 feet. So there'd be like Jove leading the way at 50 feet, Rornak and Jasper at 40 feet, and then Freddy, you bringing up the rear at 30 feet. Can I have everybody except for Jove make me a dexterity saving throw?
Terrific.
It's almost a good one. 8.
10?
10.
12.
You all kind of, at the same time, find out how deep this bog goes in some stretches, and fall, dunking your heads below the surface of the water, reaching out, and you each reach out to grab and grasp onto one of these violet reeds, and they're surprisingly sturdy. As you pull yourself up out of these, you each have a very similar experience, as you feel yourself pull up, and then it stops being you pulling yourself up. You feel yourself pushed up as these strange, they almost look like little candle flames of violet, reedy fungus, as they rise up around you, and each one of them embraces you. So, these violet fungus are going to make an attack on all three of you guys, and then we're going to roll for initiative.
Great.
Yay.
That's where I put those. I was wondering where you bitches went. Thought you could get out of D&D. I don't think so. Not you guys. Other things. But, so, each one of you is going to... could I have each one of you roll a d4?
Sure.
2.
2.
1.
1.
1.
1. For those of you who rolled 1s, you're taking 1 attack, and for those of you who rolled 2, you're taking 2 attacks.
Ooh. Looking at him. For once, I was like, I rolled higher than everybody else.
Yes, you did, baby. So we'll start with you with the 2.
Congrats.
Okay. Well, one of them is only a 7. The other is a 17.
Yeah, that one hits.
Okay. The first one, as it wraps and you feel these it's almost like they've sprouted these extra long tendrils. They appear almost slimy, even in the water. You can see as they move, there's like impurities that surround it. It is going to do 4 points of necrotic damage to you as you are hit with a rotting touch. Then, for each one of you, for Jasper, that's a fucking 4. And for Rornak, that is a 21.
A 21 will hit.
Yes, and you are going to take 5 points of necrotic damage. Now let's roll for initiative.
Ooh.
And here I thought I wasn't going to get to use these guys. Shows what I fucking know.
22 Ubur?
Ooh. Ooh,
Hey,
it's
where did
Dutch.
Uber come
Okay.
from? Oh, he was shifted over one.
Yeah.
I don't know how he managed to do that.
I don't know either, but nice.
Impressive.
Most impressive. 18 in it? 22 Uber.
22 Uber.
I've never been to Ubu Java.
Has never been to Ubu Jabber.
Okay, so that would be Jove. Ready. Jasper. Bring. Okay, at the top of initiative, how exciting, is Jove. Jove, if I may paint the battlefield, it's another 50 feet till you get to the dry banks on the other side. You can see that this bog is littered with these strange violet funguses that I can now call them. You can see that there must be over a dozen of them, and they all begin to kind of shake and move and expand, almost like flowers blooming. There are a number of them, probably 10 feet away from you as you head closer to the banks. You can see that there's a number of them as well. Looking around, your party is, of course, 10 feet back from you, and then 20 feet back from you. You can see each one is engaged with this strange violet fungus coming out from the bog.
So the ones in front of me, have they already formed into the fungus stuff, or are they still like in reed form?
You can see that they are shifting, but they haven't yet unfurled these strange tentacles that are assaulting your party.
Gotcha. So, not a target. And if I turn around and look back, I believe it would either be Jasper or Rornak would be the closest to me. When you use the word embraced, so does it look like, and Jove again would know better than I, that he could get even a shot off with his spear without just like stabbing his friends?
You could definitely get a shot off from there. Embrace
Okay.
is this. They don't move very fast. Is why it's more of an embrace. And for clarity, part of you are not grappled currently by these creatures.
Okay.
Just the way that they move, and these are not fast creatures by any means. They don't even appear to be creatures in the typical sense. And it's almost like, it's like watching a Venus flytrap happen, but of course each one of these is medium-sized.
Well, then Jove is going to turn around. He's going to take out the Electrum Spear, and he's going to say, thanks, Jasper, as he goes over to Jasper to strike at the one that has embraced her.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's not going to do it. Unless a 9 does it.
A 9 does do it.
Oh, does?
It's
Nice,
a plant.
You're a plant.
Beautiful.
Hey, you're
You
a
know,
plant.
How
No,
dare you?
Well, yes, I'm a plant, but they're not me.
That does 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing damage, yeah. You strike into it, and it's strange. It doesn't really make, like, a scream or anything. It just makes this shivering motion, and it churns some of the water, and you can see it sends ripples out. And as they go out further, you can see the other of these, like, violet reeds begin to shake as well.
Well, that's not good.
But yeah,
then
8
Jove,
damage. Gotcha.
bing, bang, boom. Then Jove will go ahead and... Would it be too late on that hit for I have favored foe, which just lets me add a d4 to that? Would I be able to do that?
Yes.
It takes my bonus action. I just don't have anything else to do with my bonus action right now.
That's fine. Yeah. If you want to use your bonus action, you can go ahead and do that.
That is for an extra 4 piercing.
Gotcha.
And then Jove is just going to kind of point out that there's dry land 50 feet in front of them if they hadn't already seen that, and relinquish his turn there.
Okie dokie. Then, it's Freddy.
So I was kind of lost in language. Did the one that he attacked die?
No, it did not die.
Okay. Then I am going to... Hey, man. Back off. I'm gonna use a magic missile on 3 of them.
never misses, man.
Magic missile never misses, man.
They all 3 take 4 damage.
All 4? They all take 3 damage? Gotcha.
Nice.
All 3 take 4 damage.
All 3 take 4 damage.
Take that, plants.
Yeah. Plants. Idiots.
And then
Intelligence of fucking 1.
on my way out, I'm going to... I'm actually gonna say, wait, trying to see if the Johnny explosion is AoE or if it's the target and each creature of your choice must succeed on a con save. Okay. Then yeah, I will send a Johnny over to let's send one over to Rory.
Why, thank you.
Hey, fuck him up, bud. And then Johnny scampers over to you through the air. And that's my turn.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna move towards the shore.
Absolutely.
Closest shore.
You can move 15 feet.
Yep.
So you move 15 feet towards the shore. It is going to take an opportunity of attack on you. Not today. It's not with a 6.
Correct.
So now that you see it, and you're no longer shocked by a plant being so aggressive, they don't move very fast, and it's easy for you to get out of the way and make your way. So you're 15 feet closer. You're at 45 feet, we'll say. You need to get to 100 feet. I hope that makes sense to everybody, to get out of the water and away from these violet funguses. the violent funguses, if you will.
Oh, I have to go 100. That means that Rory and Jasper need to go 90.
It's 100 feet all the way along, and you are 30 feet, and then they were 40, and then Joe's 50 because he can walk on the water.
Okay. So I'm currently 45 out of 100.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Makes sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Jasper.
She recently has had several instances of almost being killed in water, so she's just super not about what's going on right now. So she's going to use a bonus action, cunning action, to disengage and use her action to dash towards the other side.
Yep, you make 40 feet, so you've made it 80. Does not get an opportunity of attack. It's strange because Jove, she just moves so fast that she goes underneath you. So it's a weird sensation of having the water be solid, but then also move, and it's like almost stepping on Jasper, but not quite. As it just goes, and so you've made it about 80 feet. So you only got 20 feet more towards the shoreline, Jasper.
Okay, that's it.
Okie dokie. Then it's Rory.
All right. There's one right on me because it attacked
Oh,
me, right?
indeed.
Yaha. Well, I did get some encouragement from Freddy, so I will go ahead and strike the one that is on me.
Go for it.
I believe a 17, of course, hits, so I'll just roll the damage. So with the bow staff, that is going to be 10 bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And is that still standing at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna burn a key point, and we are gonna flurry of blows and take 2 more attacks on that.
All right. Roll for your first hit.
Yeah, so for the first and second in order, it's an 11 and a 9 to hit.
Both will hit. Roll damage on the 11.
That is 6 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like Weed Whacker style coming in with the staff, and gets like a good chunk of it, and like with what's left, just kind of comes back in with his with like his arm flat out and just kind of chops it straight through. Like first initial hit with it, and then ends up falling all the way back through just to get a good clean, again, like cutting the grass. We got ourselves a Weed Whacker here.
Yeah, and it's a strange sensation because they feel very much like fungus. They're solid, but not that solid. It's like breaking a bunch of portobello mushrooms open. With your second attack, there is, since you and Jasper were right next to each other, there is one within striking distance, so why don't you go roll damage on that second one?
Will do. Nice. That is, that's going to be for 7 striking. And then can I also roll my Johnny damage with that too? Can I use the Johnny for this?
You may.
And
I
is
believe
that a
it's
Yeah.
Freddy, right?
So technically, he would have to use the bardic inspiration on the attack roll, but since it hit, we can just say that he used it, and then just have Johnny go off.
Yeah, so go ahead, give me some flavor how you want to work with Johnny on this one. Because with that, and even if Johnny rolls minimum, you got this. So, what do you and Johnny do in tandem, Rornak, for the second fungus?
I feel like the Johnny kind of like, it's almost like a bit of like a slingshot motion with it. Like the Johnny is like curled up, holding on to my arm. And like as I go in and just strike with my fist, the Johnny just kind of lets go with the motion and is able to just fling itself onto this plant and just kind of do its attack from there.
And as it does, it just breaks apart. You can see bits of this fungus just floating in the water now, being kind of spread out.
Was there any other fungus within 5 feet of him?
Not anymore.
Okay. Because they would also have to do the con save or take a damage.
Yes, they are. Currently, Rornak has fungus whacked these into oblivion.
There you go.
I will use my 20 feet then to follow after Jasper and start heading for the shore. And that'll be all for me.
You've made it 60 out of 100 feet.
Nice.
So, it's just the one that was with Freddy at the 30, moved to the 40. It'll use an action to dash 10 feet. Does not get close enough. We go back to the top with Jove.
So I believe that means Jove doesn't have anybody around him, correct?
not.
So he will follow Jasper's lead, take a dash, and he'll be able to move 50 feet. So I think it'll bring him to 90.
It does indeed.
And he will call it there.
Gotcha. Then it is Freddy.
That's the me one.
Yeah.
I don't have any within 5 feet of me.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then I'm just going to sprint towards the shore and go 30 feet.
That gets you, I believe, to
75.
75. Gotcha.
Yep.
You make your way there, and as you're looking, you can see that the kind of other violet fungus are starting to head towards kind of the dry side where your party is congregating. However, they don't appear to be moving very fast. Then it is Jasper.
Are there ones in my way from getting out, or can I just get the fuck out?
No, not yet. They are heading that way, but they are not very fast moving.
Yeah, she's gonna swim the rest of the way, and if she has to, she'll bonus action dash.
You've made it 80, and so with your full movement, you get to the 100 feet. You get right onto the dry banks of this side.
Right. And then she'll just hold an action with her obsidian axe in case any try to come at her.
Gotcha. Then it is Rory.
I will go ahead and dash and just keep heading for the shoreline from here.
That's 40. I think that it takes you the way. Yeah. 40 plus the 20 plus 40. You get up right next to Jasper.
Nice.
Then it is the violet funguses. A number of them, of which you guys do not know how many, all use their action to dash, and you can see, as you guys are getting closer, that the bog is starting to look less like a bog and more like a purple forest.
Oh boy.
As you see what appears to be dozens upon dozens of these purple reeds, all moving closer and closer. But we're back at the top of Jove.
He is going to get to dry land, so that'll be, I think, an extra 10 feet, right?
Yep.
And then he's gonna turn around, and I guess if there's one that's close on the tail of any one of his buddies, he's gonna throw a javelin at it.
Gotcha. Then it is Freddy. Freddy.
Was muted. I sprint another 30 and make it to the shore.
Absolutely. Sprint's action gets onto the shore. We have now reached dry lands. Since you guys made it in under 3 rounds, you are all able to get to the dry land. These things are getting closer and closer to the kind of dry area. As you guys all kind of take a couple steps back, you can see that they do not come out of the water. However, you can see as more time passes, those dozens are now hundreds. Of the whole bogged area that you once swam across is now filled with these violet funguses. And you can just see what little water is violently shaking. There's so many of them now, you can hear this audible just... But
Hey,
they-
let's get the fuck out of this bog.
But we
Yeah,
have
I'm right there.
eventually-
Yeah. Fuck these fungi.
So, you continue on deeper into the bog. Jove, give me another one of them survival checks.
Okay. Let's see. That is for an 11.
An 11. Would you roll me another D100?
If I must.
You must, indeed.
I must.
That is for flat 60.
Flat 60. Alright, hold. 60, huh? Interesting. Okay. 1 second. You continue on forward for the better part of an hour, perhaps even 2, before you begin to hear a buzzing noise. It gets louder and louder. You can see overhead dozens of these giant wasps. However, since you guys put on the strange repellents, the giant wasp repellents, if you will, they do not take notice of you. And as they get thicker and thicker, you see the familiar path to the Bandits Island.
Before Jove leads us on, he's gonna take off the ring of water walking and hand it back to Jasper with a knowing look and say, "Oh, much appreciated, friend."
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't have to go through that. And she will take it back.
Absolutely. You turn the ring back to Jasper, Jove. The island is in front of you. How would you like to proceed?
Do we see our the trio tied to the tree, or?
From this vantage point, no, but you do know that they are deeper in. They're closer to the camp.
Okay. Let's keep heading that way then.
Absolutely. You return, passing by the number of giant wasps. It's a strange sight to see this many insects so riled up. But it's like you are almost invisible to them. A few get alarmingly close, but it seems that once they get within about 5 feet, they turn around and fly off in another direction. Continue back up on top of the island, and there you see your captives. The bandit mage woman, the talkative one, and the third bandit, who has not moved since you left.
Like in a dead way, or?
Sure.
Either way, it's not good for him.
Do they have their entire skulls?
Looking at them, give me a perception check.
I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to perceive.
Oh.
18, eat my balls.
Yeah, they have all their skull left. Yes, looking at them, they appear to have all their pieces still together. Now as you approach, the woman's head looks up and If you can be both equal parts surprised and angry and sad all at the same time. Even if we were a person, I don't know if I could make that facial expression.
You know how you said Dara was gonna kill us? Yeah, no, she's fucking dead as doornails.
There's not a clever response to that. Simply just a painful, anguished cry.
Don't worry, you'll have time to get over that before we get back to Molemaster. Oh, where are you going? To jail? By the way.
For murder.
That would indeed be what happens.
And
Your
Joe's
friend.
gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please, you.
I was just gonna say, your friend was probably long dead before we got there too. Do think of it as a mercy.
And conspiracy to commit murder.
And a conspiracy to commit murder. You did do a lot.
You know, highway
Joe.
robbery.
Yeah, theft,
It's a big one.
assault.
Jove will take out one of Angara's, right? Angara's rings,
Yes.
and kind of show it to her and say, "Well, I hope it was all worth it. Now, let's get you up on your feet. You can either do this the easy way, or we can drag you. We're, as you might can tell, we're pretty strong folk. So, what's it gonna be, darling?"
You just see all the fight leave her eyes. She just kind of nods. Doesn't respond. There's no biting wit to it. Just a broken woman.
Jove will kind of nod his head, return the ring, and go
Casper
and
and Freddy a high five.
yeah, fucking dunked on her.
Fucking bandits. Fucking bitches. Silencing people and murder them in the night. That's what you get.
Jove is gonna go and start helping them to their feet, starting with the talkative bandit. He's the first up.
He's the favorite of the bandits.
Oh, hi. You made it back.
Yeah, lucky for you. Gotta say, you didn't help us. Well, I should say you helped us more than a little bit, if memory does serve. So, thanks for that. But like I said, justice calls, my friend. So, let's get on this long march.
Any chance that helping out means you have some extra food?
No, but I do got this. And he'll take out one of the rings of Ankara and put it on his finger, and then he'll take out some of the water from his water skin and I guess he will. Well, I guess you guys we want to make sure that you keep up your strength. So, hey Rornak, can I borrow some of that bread of yours?
Oh, are you famished right now? Hold on.
Uh,
And he'll.
I just think maybe we could share it with our guests. I don't want to waste my jerky on them. So, not say anything bad about your bread, of course.
You see him struggling to take a piece off. I'll let you know this is actually pretty good quality here.
Yeah. And Jove will kind of break off pieces and feed the prisoners and water them and everything, and start getting them up.
I wonder if the jerky or the bread is like a chewier thing to eat right now.
The woman kind of takes the water but doesn't take any of the bread. The chatty catty of these bandits takes the water, takes the bread, and is chewing on it as you're trying to rouse the third into. Some of the water is just really dry. I can't get it quite.
Did you want more? And you just hear a loud crack as he grabs.
No, I just and he just can't quite get the words around. He's trying to like on the like it's one part the hardest, but also the chewiest bread on the face of the earth. It's like chewing on hardened gum. It's like the more you chew on it, the more elastic it gets.
These are bad men, Rornak, but we're not trying to torture him, okay? So Joe will put a little bit more water in his...
Say that, you hear a loud smack as Jasper slaps the one that hasn't stirred yet.
Rornak just says, "We're torturing them," as you just hear loud crunching as he starts to eat his bread.
Jester, as you smack this individual, no response.
Is this one not moved an inch since y'all got tied up?
No, And you see, as he's still trying to swallow down this chewy bread.
She'll put her fingers up to his throat and see if she can't feel a pulse.
Roll me medicine.
Okay. I forgot that's a thing. 0?
He's dead, Jim.
R.I.P.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think
can-
this one's kicked the bucket.
Yeah, you like reach towards the back and you're just like, oh, he's fine. It's the only one that I hit really hard in the back of the head. And you just feel that very soft, crackly part of the back of the head. I think that he's been left out here unconscious for like a whole day. Hasn't woken
Yeah,
up
it's
since.
pretty bad for you.
Super bad for you.
You give him one last good slap just to double check. Just one really good one. It makes that sound like, like a really good spank. Nothing.
It's less work for us, I guess.
Yeah, well, on time, and just have to keep eyes on 2 of them, so. We'll just let the bog take this one.
So yes, you have recovered the bandit mage and one of her lackeys.
Onwards and upwards.
Actually, before we go, if Jove has any more of his yellow stuff, he's gonna pat that on the back of the prisoner's necks.
Clever boy. You do indeed. Rats.
And then...
I really thought I had that one there.
Darn. With that
so
and
close to
tell-
greatness.
The Ranger Brain. Start
so,
leading
you
back.
apply some of the insect repellent to the 2 bandits. Alright. Let's head into the... Let's get out of the fucking flooded forest. Jove, give me a survival check.
Oh, good God. That's a halfling crit fail for 2.
My
Roll
God.
me 2 D100s.
2 D100s. All right, so
Yeah.
first one is
This is where
another 60, weirdly enough. And a 35.
And a 35, huh? Okay. 35, 35, 35. 35, what does that lead to? Excuse me. Interesting. You head out from the Bandits' Island, this time seeing the kind of clear bits of insect repellents, making going back out of this neck of the woods far easier than getting into it. It takes some time traveling is not as fast with two individuals under your care. However, luckily the path is easier than what took to get here. As you are getting close to the edge of the flooded forest, heading back into more stable, easier to traverse land. Right now it's probably getting close to 11, a.m., towards that kind of nearly noon. You hear a whistle. But not just a simple, but more of a song. Like this trailing kind of hum is almost kind of alluring hum. Can I have all you guys make me a perception check?
Oh, Steve.
It's an
Anyone know what
18.
my passive is?
9.
Thank you.
17.
18, 9, 17. And what'd you get, Freddy?
17.
17. All but Jasper and classic faction. Notice classic. Hanging off of one of these trees is a humanoid creature. Clearly not human. Neither elven nor dwarf. Not a gith, not a halfling. Strange. Light kind of sage green skin that kind of blends in with some of the upper parts of the leaves. Angular features. Not so much a part of the tree, yet connected. They have fur, but in the shape of clothing, and where clothing should be, bits of plants. An odd, natural kind of character, who is looking directly at you. The source of this whistling, as they twirl what looks to be bits of fruit between the fingers, tossing them up, almost juggling it from this tree. Continues the whistle, but looks directly at you. And all but Jasper notices have that meeting of eyes, and you can see these brown and green eyes, heterochromatic. One bright brown, the other one bright green. What would you like to do, party?
I'm just gonna nod in his direction. Just, how's it going? We're just passing through.
You make the first kind of move. You nod. And he tosses kind of the berries up in the air, snatches them all like a thing of jacks, and waves you over. One hand kind of pulls you this way, meeting your gaze.
If I don't have to make any save, I'm just gonna say, we're kind of on a time bind here. We gotta keep moving. So.
Who the fuck are you talking to?
Yes, but that guy over there.
Oh, shit. What's he doing here?
Probably living. This is probably where he lives or something.
Sure, someone's just living out in the middle of this bog. Get real.
Don't say that around the lizard folk. They'll eat your insides out, literally.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he kind of looks like someone who would live out here.
That's pretty much the MO. But yeah, sorry, we're moving. Gotta keep moving.
Do you seek?
Joe, do you know what that guy is?
Yeah, Dom, would Jove know anything from, his time spent in the flooded forest with the Emerald Enclave, anything about spirits within the forest that manifest, dryads, that sort of thing?
You would know that, like any place of great nature, where there is great nature, there are great nature spirits. And where nature holds dominion, other things hold dominion as well. You haven't personally seen it, but Burroka and Yavendel have said that there are parts of the flooded forest that dip into other realms.
Oh, he's a Fey man. Ah.
Was there any caution? Any words of wisdom? That it's okay to go talk to him. You should stay away. That sort of thing.
Uh, like all Fey creatures, they are equal parts amicable and equal parts treacherous. I believe Yavendel's words to you were, it's always easier just to play their game.
Folks, I think this is either a forest spirit or something that holds dominion here because of the overwhelming nature of this place. My mentor said it's usually better to not ignore them, or else they'll put you in a position where you can't ignore them. So I don't know if it's all right by you. I can go interface with them, and if something shitty happens, maybe y'all can jump to my side.
Sounds reasonable.
I'll make it quick, and like usual, I won't sign us up for anything without consulting y'all first. So be back soon. Jove will make his way towards the individual and kind of offer up an open hand, trying to show not necessarily a stature of not a diminutive stature, but definitely one of respect as he comes forward, and he will introduce himself and say, well met, denizen of the forest, of the flood forest. My name's Jove Featherfoot. I'm a spring warden of the Emerald Enclave. It seems that our paths have crossed here today. Is there something that you would need to tell me, or have we caught your attention for any particular reason?
Hello, Featherfoot. Though your feet are not feather, and you are halfling more than you are anything else. It is not what I want from you, it's what I can do for you. For it appears you seek safe passage. Do you seek safe passage? And you see as he kind of like tumbles down, almost like a trapeze artist, hooking his legs onto kind of the branch and flipping down as he kind of drops down. The tree itself bends and almost catches him, almost kind of like a swing as he lands on there. And now that he is eye level with you, Jove, you can see that he's not particularly larger than you are, but his features are very fine, very angular. It's like you've taken a really long being and just shrunk them down to a halfling size. Almost seems like he got smaller, tumbling down.
Well, I don't seek safe passage because I've already found it. We're heading back toward the road and up towards Mulemaster. Do you have a name I should refer you by? I want to make sure I don't accidentally stumble upon some sort of disrespect.
So you do not seek safe passage. Foolish, but bold, but foolish. And he begins to roll himself back up, almost kind of like a reverse fruit by the foot. Back into the tree, back to his top, and he begins the whistling again and begins to ignore you. Once again, whistling this kind of strange, lulling tune, juggling these sorts of berries, just as if you hadn't been there at all.
Nice to meet you too. I suppose we will make our way then. And Jove will kind of wait there for a second to see if there's any change, and if he's still getting the cold shoulder, kind of just throw up his shoulders in a shrug and say, "Well, okay," and make his way back to the party.
You make your way back to the party.
Well, folks, he was saying something about seeking safe passage, and I told him we're not seeking safe passage because we already found it. I've got a pretty good bearing of where we are, so I don't know. I think in places like this there can be that crossover to other ways of being in places. To be honest, nature can be finicky. It can be hard to tell if they mean good or ill, or what we consider good might not be the same for them. So maybe it's best. He seems to thinks that we're foolish for going on the way we are. So I don't know.
Sounds like a fucking grifter to me.
That's what honestly, had I not talked to me before I had my time in Mole Master, I may have ate whatever he had in his hand, because I'm sure he was offering me some berries or something. This would have been a different day, but glad to hear that that's the resounding opinion of the party. I feel confident in my tracking, and that we are right on the path. So and plus, I think I burned that bridge anyway, so I guess the only way's forward.
What exactly would he even want from us to try grifting, though? I guess that's what confuses me.
Yeah, because he said he didn't want nothing from us, is that we wanted something from him, and that's safe passage. So, I don't know. People are tricksy with their words, so I'm going to be on guard as we go forward, because who knows, maybe he's going to fuck with us as we go through and make us wish that we had, I don't know, played his little game.
Basically, every story of spirits I've ever heard of, they want some sort of payment for what they're doing, so I don't know. I think you made the right call.
Payment for something that we didn't need until he said we needed it just now. When you put it out like that, it does seem fishy.
Well, hopefully we made the right choice, so.
So, Jove, would you please roll me a survival check as you lead the way?
Fuck it up.
Yeah, that's better. That's a 13 again.
A 13. Please roll me a d100.
I will. Come on, 100. Oh, no. That is 81.
81. Okie dokie. Ah. God, I love this game. You continue
Never
on.
got a dog smell.
You continue on, passing by this strange fey creature who continues to whistle away, juggle some berries, and lounge about the treetops as you are transitioning from the flooded forest back towards the North Road, even though it's south of Mulemaster. The better part of an hour goes by. The trees become less of that rooted structure to individual trees, more similar to oaks rather than the kind of weeping willows that dot all the way through the flooded forest. When you hear sounds of snarling, screaming, yelling, gnashing of teeth, the shudder of a tree being struck with great force, over and over and over again. Can I have you all roll me a perception check?
Nine.
9.
17.
14.
14 and above. What you see is a halfling. A little whiles up the road. It's not the halfling you see first, it's the shaking of this tree as this halfling strikes it again and again and again with bare fists. The whole tree shuddering after blow after blow. Joe, you specifically hear in halfling, 3 good fruits, 3 good gifts, that's all we needed to do. But no, the madness had to kick in. Had to say no. 3 good fruits, the whole good thing. To 3 good gifts. Over and over and over again as he strikes at this tree. Over and over. And as the rest of you get closer, having Joe pointed out, it's not the halfling you see, but the tumbling of this tree as he breaks through the center of it finally, punching it enough times to snap it. And it falls onto the path. Moving from that tree begins on another one. Jove, you hear the same kind of speaking over and over and over. This kind of frenzy. Doesn't appear to be anybody else around. There's no horses, no other travelers. Just more forest. The road eventually leading back up to Mulemaster. And this strange halfling individual. And you can tell this might be the only other halfling you've ever seen with bigger shoulders than you.
Joe is gonna look over to Freddy and say, Freddy, my kin over there looks like he's gibbering in madness in halfling. Maybe we try and tell him, but try and see if we can snap him out of it. But push comes to shove, maybe you can do that whole little put him to sleep thing. I don't know. If he's punching through trees, probably a pretty strong fella, but it's gonna be hard for me just to walk on by and let this folk just, I don't know, die of madness out here.
Okay.
Right. Jove is gonna start speaking in halfling. Whoa, he speaks that. He's gonna start approaching, kind of hands up, not going directly towards him, but kind of trying to do that like half circle, just to try and get around him and not look aggressive. And again in halfling, he's gonna say, "Hey there, friend. Most of the time I see trees getting felled by axes, not fists, but shows what I know, right?"
Continues to strike the tree, responds back. All I needed was 3 good gifts. 3 good gifts, and safe passage would have been mine. But no, now the madness is it. Now we have to knock down these trees. Now we have to make sure nobody's there. What would you know about that? What would I know about that? Strike 3 times, 3 good gifts. Strike 3 times, 3 good gifts. A curse upon me, a curse upon thee.
Who you giving gifts to there, friend?
Continues to strike. 3 good gifts for safe passage. That's all he said. All he wanted. Didn't have 3 good gifts. Only had the fists. Only had the fists. Only didn't have 3 good gifts. 3 good fingers, maybe, but no good gifts. He breathes heavily. Looks to you, and you can see just the madness in the eyes. And there's that kind of tense moment between you and him. But you've got your hands up and made a wide circle. And goes back to striking another one of these trees.
Friend, do you like the old halfling pipeweed? Still got some fresh from Featherdale, if that's something that you're interested in. Maybe that'll help you calm down a little bit.
He begins to repeat the same kind of this mantra. 3 good gifts for safe passage. 3 good gifts for safe passage. 3 good gifts for safe passage. And you can hear kind of the splintering of the wood once again as he strikes over and over and over at this tree.
Jove is gonna look back to the party, speaking in common once again, and say, I don't know, he's mumbling about 3 good gifts, safe passage. I can't help but I think he took up whatever that woodland creature that we saw just a bit ago. I think he took him up on his offer, and well, I think we made the right choice by neglecting to take him up on that, because he's looking for 3 good gifts, and there's a madness in his eyes. And I don't know if he's ever going to stop. I don't have any magic in the ways to make him stop. Kind of at a loss here.
I could try knocking his ass out. Maybe take him back to Mole Master. Maybe take him to somebody who might know better than we do how to deal with something like this.
He was mumbling about curses, and Freddy, I know the cloaks stitch people up and heal them. Maybe they remove curses too?
Maybe. I mean, we can go find out. I don't know. I guess
Maybe
we can pay
nature
for it.
people.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. I'm gonna try and get a little closer and see if I can calm him down. And if he starts throwing punches on me, well, I'm not just gonna let that slide. And maybe we can beat him up a little bit and put him to sleep and wrap him up. Throw some manacles on him or something. And then he'll switch into halfling and start to get a little bit closer and say, "Friend, what if I told you that you don't need no gifts? Your halfling cousin here, he knows the way. My name's Joe Featherfoot. I'm from Featherdale, and I've been through these woods a few times, and I think you're sick right now, and maybe once we leave the forest, maybe that sickness will fade. Does that sound right, friend?"
How close do you get, Jove?
I would say he's 10 feet away at this point.
Perfect. You say this. He turns to you. The punching stops. His eyes look deep into yours. But there's not familiarity there. You would make a good gift. And he's going to charge you. So Jove and party, would you guys please roll initiative?
And I have been prepared to cast something at him.
What are you casting?
Just a command with my staff.
What are you commanding?
I am commanding freeze.
And this is a charm?
Yes, let me make sure. Has no effect if the target is undead, doesn't understand my language. It doesn't say anything about things that can't be charmed. So maybe it's not a charm.
Speak one word, bad creature says, respect wisdom saving throws, fast enough for the treasure. Okay. Let's see if he's got it.
Yeah, I don't see anything that says charm.
Yeah, what was the word?
Freeze.
Freeze?
Yeah.
He goes, Job, you can see him leap with a primal savagery. But as he goes for that leap, Freddy's, your words ring out, and he freezes.
There. Now he doesn't get first attack.
Yeah, are we still in initiative?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Command only
Gotcha.
lasts a round.
It only lasts a turn. That's not suggestion, that's command.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Command is simply the one. So I've got 12, 10, 8. Jove, what's yours?
13.
Okay. Busy, and then or Fred. So that will eat up his turn. However, he goes first. So he is frozen for this round. Next is Jove.
Jove is gonna close that distance. Did you say he was prone?
He is not prone. He's
Frozen.
just
I
He's just
imagine he
frozen.
did the thing that 6-year-olds do when you tell them to freeze, because they take the command literally.
yes.
So
Took
he
literally
froze and is just there.
froze there, and you guys will have your move. But he is in full. He's in full pounce mode.
Yeah, he's not
Gotcha.
stunned or anything. His body is just in one solid, one non-moving state.
Well then, Jove is going to attempt to put him in a full Nelson and grapple him.
Absolutely. He's frozen right now, so your grapple goes through. He's now grappled.
Gotcha. So then he's got him up, and Jove will yell out, "Manacles!"
Joe, that'll take your action. Next, going down the line after Jove is Jasper.
I think I may have used. Yeah, I used both my manacles for the people we got currently, so I think Jasper is going to just run over and like hold this guy's legs tight.
A double grapple.
if you will allow.
Yeah.
And yeah, she'll just call out, "I used mine, someone else." And that'll be my turn.
Rornak.
I believe I still have a pair of manacles, so if I can, I will run over and try to place those on this halfling as he's restrained here.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
That's only an 8.
It's not going to do. While this individual is grappled, trying to get the manacles on this one, who is, even though while frozen, still in place, not close to anything to do. You've got Jove and Jasper on it, and Rornak, you are surprised. This dude is yoked. Not like kind of yoked, like his muscles feel like stone. It's like underneath him, he's just smuggling hard rocks. He's got the cheese wheels.
He's a JoJo. He's part 3.
He's more of like a pillar man,
Oh God.
but only the size of Jove. It's crazy.
Jeez. Yeah, Rornak's just like, try and hold him still. I'm having some trouble here as he's fumbling around with the cuffs.
Still, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah,
Got him.
keep working on it. Don't got him.
Freddie, what would you like to do as you're watching two of your party members trying to grapple this guy? Rornak's trying to like get in between and get these two giant fucking slabs of beef to come together enough to be manacled.
If he's as yoked as you say he is, I should probably try and put him to sleep. I'm gonna cast sleep at a first level.
Go ahead and roll for sleep.
And 5d8. 5d8. Oh. 22?
No. Doesn't even make him blink an eye.
Sweet.
If anything, it just makes him more mad. Because now it's his turn. He's double grappled right now.
I'm gonna also send a Johnny over to Rory so you can use it on the ability check to get the manacles on.
Gotcha.
Have Johnny help you with the manacles. And there's a Johnny scampering down your arm to help with the manacles.
So he's grappled. Double grappled. Speed to 0. He can't
Because
move.
extra 0.
No, it's extra 0. He's gonna headbutt the fuck out of you, Jove. You have the natural 20, fucking is. Get an A. So, it's 1 plus 5, 6. Got a strength of 20. Plus 1. He doesn't have unarmed fighting. But doubled on that. Jove, take 12 points of damage, bludgeoning damage.
Gee.
As just with a madness, just drives his skull straight into you. That's his first attack. He's gonna do it a second time.
Oof.
That's a 21.
That'll hit.
6 more points of bludgeoning damage as he's using the front of his skull like a hammer. And you can feel the blood immediately start rushing down your nose. But that's all he's got. Back to you, Jove.
He is going to get out. Let's see here. Did not like that. Pretty pissed about it, in fact. Nevertheless, we're here. He's gonna take out his belaying pin, which he has yet to use, but he will use that. And he's just gonna try and like nightstick this guy to the side of the knee, and just say, "We're trying to help you, friend."
Go ahead. Made that attack.
That's gonna only be a 9.
You strike this individual, and it's like striking straight stone. If anything, you feel like your belaying pin might have taken more damage than he did. Moving on. Jasper.
Yeah, I mean, Jasper had a front row seat to like the just impact of that hit, and it just did nothing to this dude. So she's a little worried about what, like, even just like dealing with this dude when he's manacled is gonna be fucking annoying. So she's gonna pull out her obsidian battle axe, and she's gonna swing the like flat side of it at his chest instead of his head, because she learned her lesson last time, and gonna try to non-lethally subdue him.
They're using a magical battle axe, even if you crush someone in the back of the head and leave them unintended for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Lessons
Turns
learned.
out so yeah, we'll just take a swing here.
Go ahead and...
Just, I have flanking on
You
him
do,
because
yes.
of...
Clearly.
Okay, thank
Everybody
goodness.
has flanking.
Okay, that's better. That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, add sneak attack.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's 16 bludgeoning. I mean, technically slashing, but if you let me do bludgeoning.
Absolutely. This one strikes, and you can hear what sounds like actual wooden rock breaking underneath the skin. It stutters them for a little bit, but instead of recoiling or saying anything out, he just screams out, 3 good gifts!
Yeah, after the damage he did to Jove, she's tired of him, so she's gonna act and take a swing at his legs.
Go for it again.
Again, non-lethal. That's a 22 again.
22.
Um, 11.
11. 16, 27, got it. Jasper, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. God, I was not the person to receive this. 8.
Seeing Joe get hit like that, seeing this individual just strain against you, seeing that madness, he can't be left alive.
Like, do I actually reach this conclusion, or is Jasper under
With an
the
8?
influence of something?
Well, yeah, I guess you're gonna have to find out. With an 8, you feel the great need to put this individual down.
Okay.
You feel the blood in your veins light a fire. This individual has to die.
Yeah.
For what he did to Jove? Not taking your guys' kindness? This cannot stand. The disrespect. And feel the sensation just well up from inside you after striking this individual. So, that's Jasper's turn. I believe that takes us down to Rornak.
Alrighty. Rornak is gonna try once again to put on the handcuffs, and I will roll with Johnny for the bardic inspiration there.
So if you use him on an ability check, you can roll the inspiration die with advantage, basically.
Oh, so like the Johnny die I can roll with
Yeah,
advantage?
the Johnny die you roll with advantage.
Interesting. Okay.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand with advantageous Johnny.
Oh, and it worked out. We got the max for Johnny there. So, altogether, that is, do the math, that's a 23 for sleight of hand.
With Johnny's help, you successfully put the manacles on this man. Or
I
halfling,
almost kind of see it as like,
they be.
yeah, I almost even imagine like Rornak just kind of like focuses on getting it on just one hand and then hands the other monocle, or the manacle to the manacle to the Johnny, and just like focuses on just pulling the arms together as close as he can and letting the Johnny get like that last one on. Is almost how I imagine that working.
Slaps it on, and he slicks his hair back, gives you some finger guns, and then poofs.
In that order. He is restrained. Well done. Now, it is Freddy's turn.
We want to do this. Sure. Okay, I'm gonna run up to him and use... I found in my inventory a scroll of remove curse. I'm gonna try and use that.
You run up. You unfurl this scroll. And as you kind of unfurl it, it's like the sigils, glyphs, and other words of arcana fly off of it. It's almost you let go of the scroll and take the ink, and it coalesces almost in like a glove. And you reach out your hand and place it against the forehead of this individual, and the ink runs through. And you see all the muscles loosen. The breathing becomes less rapid.
Right.
And Jove, looking into his eyes, you see a halfling.
Ba, 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 ba.
And Jove will say in halfling, "It's all right, friend. We're here to help. You've been cursed. It's all right. It's all right. Just calm down. Just calm down, and just try and be as while still kind of holding him to make sure that this is okay and that he's not gonna just pop out back into this cursed state. He's gonna be kind of holding him, but like the grappling almost turning more into an embrace rather than a restraining maneuver, and just kind of be like, it's all right, friend, it's okay.
Did the remove curse affect what's going on with Jasper?
Jasper, would you please make an attack?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yup.
That's what I thought. That's a 20 to hit.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'm flanking, so I get that advantage. A 22.
Yeah, that hits. Please do sneak attack damage. With lethal intent.
Yep. Yeah, she's going straight for his, like, just axe to the chest. Pretty low damage, all said, but it is 8.
Jove, you get to see this individual, and the light returned, and then there's fear for a second as he begins to say, "Wait, your friend!" As you see Jasper's battle axe sink right from the back of the head all the way down the middle. As the light fades, there's a slight glow. Jove, would you also make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, god damn it. Was a 19, but it is actually a 3.
A 3, you say? Would you roll me a D100?
Ah. Okay. Ooh, that is a 99.
You fall unconscious.
I fall unconscious.
What a weird sequence of events there.
Jasper, would you roll me a D100?
Yes. Okay. That is a 77.
A 77.
You got to roll the third one. You've gotta.
Make her roll a third one? Gosh.
No, for the third 7.
Oh, for the third 7. Oh, of course. You get the overwhelming urge, Jasper, to eat something. You have to eat something right now. You don't care if it's dirt, if it's slime, anything. You just need to fill your stomach.
She'll, like, rip her pack off and start digging for her rations and just go to fucking town. Like it's a goddamn 5-course meal or something.
As Jove and this individual's bodies both hit the ground, Jasper drops her axe and immediately just starts eating. Just doesn't even make any recognition to the rest of you. Would you roll me a D10 real quick, Jasper?
D10, okay. 6.
Gotcha. And continues to eat. We're out of initiative.
What just happened? Jasper, are you? And is she just like?
Do I have the faculties to respond at all, or?
Right now, currently? Oh no. You couldn't even talk back if you wanted to. Your face is too full with food. You're running through rations.
Yeah. I'm like, hands are covered in blood. she's
It's this horrifying
the
sight
scene.
of just like this dead halfling whose body is on top of Jove, who is just gone from 100% fine, minus the bloody nose, to completely unconscious. And then there's just this awful kind of giggling from one of your captives. As the bandit mage just is watching this with terrible enjoyment. The other bandit is looking just as freaked out as everyone else. Looking at Jasper to Joe, back to the bandit mage, back to you guys. As this scene unfolds.
think it's up to you and me to come up with a plan.
Yeah, I don't really like what's going on here, Freddy. Be careful with him right now.
Hey, Mage Lady, do you know what's going on?
And she just continues to cackle and then weep and then cackle and weep over and over and over again.
Like as if she's laughing at us, or as if she's overtaken by some maniacy?
You've heard plenty of laughing, and you've definitely laughed at your sister plenty of times. That's not a laughter of somebody enjoying themselves. That is the laughter of someone losing themselves.
What do you want to do, Rory? Do you want to slap him, see if that does anything?
We can try. I mean, you don't have anything in that spell book that can deal with a curse, right?
I just used the scroll to get rid of his curse. That's all that I have.
Rordak is gonna take his staff and like kind of just start nudging Jasper a bit with it and just saying, Jasper, hey, are you in there, or, and like to see if he can get a reaction out of her with that.
Jasper, you are aware of somebody poking you with the stick, but you gotta get this food in you.
Rory, you have to hit her. I'm gonna go over to Jove and use an action to attempt to wake him.
Yeah, absolutely. You go over to Jove. Jove, roll me a d10.
1.
Yeah, as you go over, you kind of shake Jove, and Jove, you could have sworn you were standing just a second ago, and now Freddy is waking you up. You feel this immense weight of your chest as you wake up to that halfling's body, still manacled, on top of you, the top of it split open, and Freddy trying to wake you up / get you out from underneath this. You look over and you see Jasper's just emptying her pack upside down. Every little bit of food that she can get out of that is starting to come out. And Jasper, the problem is you are about to run out of food.
Yeah, she's trying to plan ahead here. She's got the next plan. Don't worry.
Gotcha. But Joe, if you come back to consciousness.
What the fuck happened? What's going on here? Why is Jasper acting like an animal? Why has this guy got an axe wound through his head? What?
Wait, there's some kind of charm or spell or something going on. Put you to sleep. She's being a fat ass, and the mage over there is laughing her ass off. Not in a normal way, but we're gonna worry about her last because I don't really care about what happens to her head. Rory, did you hit her yet?
Not yet. We give this a shot here, and Rornak is gonna go. He'll get up close towards her and kind of start snapping his fingers in her face a few times. Just, Jasper, need you to wake up. And
Hit her.
Well, get to that part, and I will make an unarmed strike. I'm just gonna, honestly, just gonna slap her across the face.
Go ahead. You gotta make an attack on this one.
Oh. Lost my dice. That's a 14.
Does a 14 hit Jasper?
No. She just backs up slightly to make him miss the slap. And she looks him in the eyes and says, "Food." like with a mouthful of food, but fair enough.
If I can, I'll use my bonus action to make another unarmed strike. As I
You
come
may.
back around with another slap. I don't think it does, but a 16.
Nope.
Jeez.
This time she moves into your slap and attempts to tackle you and wrench off your backpack.
She's going for the bread. And he even says that out loud. She's going for the bread.
She's going for the bread. Jasper, make an attack for me to get at the bread.
Is that a strength or like?
Be careful. The bread has a very high AC.
True.
You're not making it with your weapon, so just make this a dexterity attack roll. Go ahead and add your proficiency to it.
Oh yeah. If it's with proficiency, that's a 22.
Does a 22 hit, Rory?
22.
A 22. Yeah, definitely.
She gets your backpack.
Yeah, she like judo slams you and rips your backpack off and starts digging for that bread.
Oh, and you find that bread. You know exactly where Rory keeps the bread.
Yeah, she gets her water skin ready because she wants to eat this as fast as humanly possible. So she's gonna like eating competition, like soften it with water and chow down.
Real Joey Chestnut. Real Matt Stoney.
Yeah.
And even in this, the bread slows you down, Jasper. You tried so hard to eat this as fast as possible, but it might be inhumanly possible to eat this bread quickly.
What little part of her is still in her mind right now is like, yes, thank God.
It is slowing Jasper down as she's trying to get through the world's hardest and chewiest bread at the same time.
Is there anything on the body of the halfling?
You may go ahead and make an investigation check.
Damn it, that's only 8.
An 8? No. They appear to have no rations, no water skin, no gold, simply what appears to be hide armor on them and their bare fists, which you can see are deeply cracked. Probably a fighter before all this started, but you can tell that they've been punching whatever they've been punching so long that even their fists are clearly broken.
Yikes.
Well, shit. That forest creature said something about, I don't know, gifts or something like that. So obviously, we're being fucked with here. And I guess Jove is going to yell out, "Is this entertaining to you? Are you having fun? Huh?"
It rings out, met only by some more laughter. Jasper, after what we'll call the 6th round of this goes by, as you are still trying to get down this bread, you've got about half of, whatever's left of Rory's thing down the gullet, still working on, still chewing on it. Your water skid mostly depleted at this point. Finally, you feel full. And
She
you
takes like a gasp of like nourishment and gestures the bread back towards Rory. And then I think her memory of like killing just an unarmed person kind of sinks in. I think she drops the bread and like walks away for a sec. It just leaves her axe on the ground. Yep.
Jove, you're met by only silence.
the laughing and cackling has stopped.
It goes on for a little bit longer.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to go over and slap her.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
What is that? Is that strength or can I do dexterity?
I'll let you do dexterity.
Okay. Do I get oh shit. Do I get proficiency?
You, with your soft hands? No.
Okay. 19.
19? You still smack the fuck out of her.
Yeah. Alright.
And she does indeed stop cackling. And you see she gets kind of really pale. And then kind of coughs up a little bit. And like gets one big breath and coughs up a little bit of blood. And you see her begin to sway back and forth. As you see her hit the ground. And in her back is a strange arrow-like protrusion, but too natural, not fletched in any way. It almost looks like an oak branch has been stabbed into her back, but you can see the blood is starting to now really pool as her breathing becomes more shallow.
We need to check the bodies for these sticks, I guess. I think this is where the magic's coming from. Jasper, get over here.
Yeah, like he doesn't react right away, but yeah, slowly walks back over.
I will check her body for sticks.
Jasper's body?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation.
Investigation. Oh, 9.
A 9. Freddy, what's your armor class?
13.
You son of a bitch. You don't find any sticks. However, you do, both of you. Jasper, your AC is an 18, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. Unfortunate.
Actually, I think when she dropped her axe, she also dropped her shield, so she's probably at a 16 right now. Or a 17. Is it just a +1 for a shield?
+2.
It's +2.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Speeding by you at high speeds, you see these strange twigs flying fast like arrows, just barely miss by the both of you, and soar over, striking some of the trees about with a large firing from deeper, the path that you came from the flooded forest. Have both of you make a perception check real quick.
Three.
3.
So 11.
9.
11 and a 9. You don't see where
That's
these.
it.
You know they definitely from which direction they came from, but you don't see any archers.
Hey, we need to get out of here. We're under attack.
Here we go.
You guys
Yeah,
begin.
Jove hears that. He is gonna shut the eyes of the, if there's even eyes left of this halfling, and kind of look at him and take off.
Yeah, you begin running. The 4 of you and the one bandit that's still conscious begin running down this path. Do you guys run as fast as possible?
Yes.
Everybody make me a Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
14.
22.
23.
11.
While the 11 is low. Oh, bandit. Hey, same exact thing you got, Ronak. Yeah, with the balance, you guys are able to keep pace. You run. And you run and you keep following this road until after the better part of an hour, maybe 2. And you can see off to one side, what appears to be an abandoned set of wagons that you know only too well to be Anghara's. You've made it back to there. Looking back behind you, the flooded forest is within eye shot, but comfortably enough away from you. You can see at this point it's probably early afternoon. You know, there's a better part of a day's journey back to Mulemaster, but you have successfully made it back to the North Road. Knowing that is a straight shot through the rolling hills outside of Mulemaster, finally back to the South Road Keep. And with those good Constitution saving throws, nobody is exhausted.
Yay.
Yay!
We lost the mage, huh?
I thought you were
Whatever.
still here.
Oh no, she was unconscious.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, I would have said something, but Jasper was not really in a place to do that.
You were being actively fired upon by an unseen force.
We would have had to carry her anyways, so would have slowed us down. Sorry if I walked us into a boondoggle there, folks. I don't know. I just haven't seen many halflings, especially ones that haven't been thoroughly Mulemaster-fied. So I guess I let my guard down, and I guess that got him killed, and I guess that got our mage killed. So
Yeah, boondoggle certainly is a good word for it. Maybe you can buy the rations that we're missing.
yeah, I'd be happy to. And Jova's gonna kind of break away from the group and go over to one of the graves where Ankara was, and he's just gonna take a scoop full of dirt. He's gonna look through Ankara's jewelry and find the one that kind of evokes her memory most to Jove, whatever that may be, and he'll just not obviously exhume the whole body, but he'll just dig that deep and pat that back down and say, well, can't return your life, but hopefully this brings you a little bit of satisfaction in the afterlife. We got him. We got him good.
As you
And
kind of
Jove?
comes back from that, you feel ever so slightly a cold wind from the north comes down just across your shoulders. Sense a little bit of a chill down your spine, but you have your moment.
While he's doing that, Jasper goes to Rory. I'm sorry for attacking you like that. I don't know what was wrong with me.
No, it's okay. You obviously weren't yourself there, so try not to be too hard on yourself there, okay? Also, I can buy more bread. That's not a big deal.
You see her shoulder is shaking a little bit, and you can't see her face, but you hear her choke out the words, "I killed him. I didn't mean to."
Rornak will put a hand on her shoulder and say, "It may have been by your hand, but not by your will. I promise you, Ilmater will give you another opportunity to make things right and to give a mercy for the mercy that you took away. Don't hold it to yourself.
Yeah. Puts a hand on his shoulder for a sec and nods in appreciation. And steps away again to compose herself.
Oh, are we camping here, or are we gonna try and make it all the way to the city?
We've still got daylight left. I'd like to make use of it.
Likewise.
Well, without any other objections, you guys follow the north road. This traveling is easier, much easier going. No need for survival checks on this one, and no need to roll further D100s. You continue for the rest of the daylight hours. Evening approaches, and you can just barely see as you come around this hill following the path. The lights and the smoke, and that ever so faint Mulemaster smell as you see the city of danger off the distance and choose to take the extra hour and a half or so to traverse the large, kind of barren, flat fields that are directly outside of Mulemaster for the who knows how many hundreds of conflicts that have happened out there at one point or another. As you enter back into Mulemaster at the South Road Keep. As you enter the South Road Keep, the City Watch greet you as kindly as the City Watch greet anyone. However, one of them immediately runs into one of the stairs, and not long after you are escorted back to the offices of Captain Gideon Hulk. Of course, with your prisoner in tow. You go to that same kind of plain yet rather nice office. See Captain Gideon Hulk in his full attire. Well, hello, welcome back. I take it. It was a rousing success.
Fine rousing and the fine success.
If by success you mean we found them and killed all the ones that you don't see in front of you, then yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I would consider that a rousing success. And someone to come back. Look at you, you beautiful, ugly bastard. We're going to have such a time hanging you. As he takes kind of this bandit's face in both of his hands and kind of slaps the side of it, moves back. The bandit clearly having a very confused and terrifying time. Well, I believe that a deal struck is a deal honored. Would we agree to 200 gold pieces and an additional 50 for this gentleman right here?
Actually, I think you'll find that contract says 250 plus another 50 per person.
Oh, so correct. So correct. Ah, so smart. Always get it in writing. Yes, of course. And goes over to his desk and opens a drawer and pulls out one sack and counts out an extra 50. Puts onto the table. I can't begin to tell you how absolutely thrilling it is to have such good Mulemaster in the city willing to do us such great services. Know that you have assuredly made a friend of me, Captain Gideon Hulk. Perhaps this won't be the last time we meet. If your skills maintain, so will this gold.
Jasper will take the gold bag off the table, and I think she's gonna leave.
300 gold pieces.
Yeah. Job will he didn't sit down, but he'll reach into his bag and grab one of Ankara's pieces of jewelry and go and put it on the desk and say, "No, that you asked Captain Hulk, but Ankara and the others they didn't make it, so yeah." And Job will just turn tail and walk out of there.
The captain picks up the ring, looks at it. Gaudy. Puts it back down. As we all exit out of the South Road Keep, I think that is just a fine place to call it there.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
We did it!
We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray.
The quest has been turned in, technically.
Yeah, congratulations,
Yeah.
guys. We finished Bounty in the Vog. I owe you guys some experience points, I believe.
Quite a
Damn
bit.
right.
Yes, indeed. I owe you guys some experience.
Forget the halfling that we killed.
Yeah, I will not forget the
Something good's got to come out of that.
Just because we're not murder hobos doesn't mean we don't get experience from innocence.
Fair points. Fair points all the way around. You do indeed get experience points for that. Okay, I have to add some more experience points. I had this nice and divvied up. So for one halfling berserker, an Intellect Devourer, a Bandit Mage, a Black Earth Guard, a Spy, 3 Sacred Stone Monks, 3 Scouts, 4 Giant Wasps, a Grey Ooze, a Giant Badger, 3 Mud Mephits, 3 Violet Funguses for avoiding the conflict with the Lizard Folk. Avoiding the conflict with the giant wasps because you used the repellents. Completing your mission for Captain Gideon Hulk. You all receive individually, after being divided between the 4 of you. Hold on. $875 experience points.
Yay.
Please.
How many? I'm sorry.
875.
875.
So we should be somewhere around the 3830 to 3840 mark, depending on your plus ones.
And I believe one is level 5 for you guys.
6500.
6,500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the level jumps get exceptionally bigger. You also have used a spell scroll of Remove Curse, but had that spell book, a scroll of Comprehend Languages, a scroll of Silence, the Ring of Water Walking, 300 gold for returning with captives, and from Hulk, I believe he found 50 gold on Adara, another 80 on that cart, so that's a 130, 430.
430.
I believe there was the bandit stash in that lockbox.
I think that one already got divvied up.
I
Yeah, I was
think
pretty
so.
sure we divvied
Yes,
that,
we
yeah.
divvied up. So that's all the gold we got on this session. Yeah, because we divvy up gold before because it's too hard to keep track of.
So does that 430 left to divide?
430 left to divide amongst yourselves.
Okay, so that's 107 with 2 pieces left over.
Well done, guys. Let us say goodnight to chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night.
Night, night, chat.
Good night, chat. Thank you so very much. We will be on another break because Kaya's going on the adventure this time. So
Yep.
she will be with Familia, I believe, on the East Coast.
No, I'm gonna be with friends in Tucson.
Oh, I had this. I usually think Florida when we go on this trip. Friends in Tucson. Dope. Well, that's much closer.
Yeah.
So we will not be on next Sunday, which is great because your DM is moving next weekend. So I don't mind having a little bit of extra time. And then when we return back, we are probably going to go into pseudo downtime days because some people owe me some downtime days. We've got some ranking up and some factions coming forward, some more story beats to move along, and a couple restructuring of big events moving down the stream. So this next one's going to be real RP heavy. I can't wait. But see you then. Peace in the Middle East. Much love, chat.